Alright, racists, let's talk about your distaste for black joy. Racist America fumes at the sight of happiness, especially when that person smiling is black. It's as if this country specializes in anger Olympics. Being a little too happy disturbs the patriotism. 3 or more laughs in one place is like being investigated by a mall cop. I'm gonna need to see some ID. Because deep down, they believe that pain is the only state that black indigenous people are allowed to live in. Black people start laughing too loud at their cousin's cookout. They throw on some Frankie Beverly. They start dancing with their auntie in a sundress while the ribs are sizzling. Instantly, their lives are in danger. It's like watching a perfect example of a case study on people who have a problem with control. It's like their obsession isn't just with control, it's like with the optics of it as well. They want to be seen as dominant in the space because they seem to disappear when there is black joy. When you throw your graduation cap in the air, surrounded by your entire family in matching t-shirts, they don't see achievement, they see defiance. Because in their minds, success was never black people's storyline. The truth is, black joy is a glitch in the racist lies that they feed themselves. They built a whole myth of superiority that only works if you're miserable, delusional, insecure, jealous, and mediocre. When black people shift the world with their joy and laughter, the racist's entire self-image starts to crack. This is why racists gatekeep golf courses, ban urban dress codes, side-eye loud laughter, and call the cops when the music's just a little too bassy. The unnecessary hate and determination to ruin black people's happiness is a disease, a brain-eating amoeba that siphons the cognition out of America's privileged society. And what hurts the most is that happiness and black joy is more infectious.
I'm gonna keep saying this with my whole chest because some people are not deep thinkers. I understand that you're not a critical thinker. This is not for you. This is just not for you. Scroll up. So, my point today is, well, not today, but at this moment, like, why does black joy bother some white people? And some other groups, but majority is white people. And not all of you. You know what I'm talking about. You ever notice how the group of black folks, like they come together laughing, dancing, and just vibing, and suddenly it's labeled as too loud, too ghetto, or too much? Jealousy. Jealousy. You know why? Because they couldn't strip that away. And it's surviving. But let's be real. It's not about the volume that's the problem. It's the vibrations. It's the freedom. It's the fact that we can still find joy after centuries of trying to be stripped of who we are. We still make something out of nothing. You understand? See, black joy is like disruptive in certain people. It challenges. And where we're supposed to be broken and angry and silent, it's like loving, living, and celebrating. So it's not just confusion. It's threatening to a certain group of people. Because black joy, for us, is power, is resistance, it's healing, it's ancestral. Of all the things they said we could not do, it's lies. Remember, we were here way before other groups were here. And now our happiness is not a performance. It's reclaiming who we said we always were. So the next time somebody looks uncomfortable with your black joy, remember that you're not the problem. They're just uncomfortable and can't believe that after all this time, we are still celebrating who we are and who we are meant to be and who we are growing to be. So tell me, have you ever felt like your joy made somebody else uncomfortable? Let's talk about it, y'all. To me, I don't give a flying fuck who feels uncomfortable. This is my life, my body, and if you feel uncomfortable, move the fuck away. Right? Because where I was for Black Bike Weekend, we were on the side, I'm not gonna say the grown folk side, but we like our peace. So of course, it was a mix of black and white people. Like, we all around each other. We all talking to each other. You think anybody grabbed their purse because they see bikers in leather? No, they're used to it. They're talking, they're waving, they're like, oh, let me tell me about your bike, blah, 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 blah. These are people talking, not afraid and not jealous. There are some, but we didn't cross any this weekend, okay? But have y'all ever experienced that? Like, you having joy, you having celebration, especially with all the graduates. Did you see those comments talking about black fatigue in the comments of black joy celebrating the college? See, the point that I'm trying to get at is no one who doesn't, how can I say this? If you black, you understand. It comes naturally, and it doesn't matter what state you from. We all have a common denominator of celebrating our blackness, and people can't stand that. People can't stand that. And I'm not just talking about in America. We go somewhere else. Black joy is celebrated different ways, but we still have that common denominator of celebrating of what we achieve regardless of the fact. Okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Anyway, happy Tuesday.
And after watching this, no one can convince me that it's not Black joy that they hate to see, because everybody else gets to still be happy about things even when we're going through hell. And we act like this is new, as if in the face of adversity that Black people haven't continued to thrive, as if our enslaved ancestors weren't able to find reasons to still sing songs, to pass on stories. And they say during Black History Month, when they see some Black joy, they go, you know, Grammys don't really mean anything. They mean something to someone. It means something to the people that have been denied access to those spaces. It means so much. And for them to just be like, oh, it's white supremacy. What isn't white supremacy? We live in a white supremacist country. What isn't white supremacy? But as soon as you see some Black joy, you have to remind us, of the people that are oppressing you. Are we going to not be oppressed if we decide not to indulge in the small things that make people feel a little bit of something for a little bit of time?
I'm starting to think that way too many of you get off on policing Black joy. And I say this from watching all of the discourse that happens every single year around this time of grown people trying to police the joy and celebration of Black people, Black children going to the prom. Let me say that again. Black children going to the prom want to critique and judge and make assumptions about them. And I'm just wondering, do you think that our joy, our celebration, our ability to uplift each other somehow comes at the expense of yours? Because if so, you really need to look inwards. You really need to look at the 1%ers that are stealing from you. You need to look at your government that is working every single day to limit your ability to have agency over your own life. You are more focused on what Black people are doing and not even realizing that they're emptying your pockets in broad daylight.
They can't stand to see people getting their value from within. Like, you know how many white people have asked why are like, they've literally, I've seen it in the comments, I've seen it in videos of white people saying, Black people, like, how do you get your joy? Like, how are you so happy? Like, why, like we know that we've oppressed you for all this time. How do you still stand up and smile and dance? Like, they want us, and that's not to say that they want us to, well, some of them certainly want us to, like, not be happy. But even the ones who do not actively try to make sure we're not happy, they feel like we should be unhappy. And so they ask, why are you so happy? And that's because they themselves have been trained and brought up to think that their happiness comes from external validation. Y'all, that is what it is, because white culture, white American culture is very consumerist. It is very, you get your value from having the biggest house. You get your value from having the hottest husband and the prettiest woman. You get your value from having the most, the highest paying job. You get your value from having the highest net worth. That is literally how a lot of white Americans define their value, is if I have this external indicator that everyone else can see that says I am worthy. The higher that number on the stock ticker for them, that is the higher their value. And and when that is where your value comes from, you will always look at people who are poor or people who have no money and be like, why are you smiling? And it's just like, because my value does not come from some artificial number on a board that someone else made up. Like, what? That is crazy. But another thing is, when you have the mentality of my value comes from things outside of me, you have the mentality that everyone else has that same mentality. And so so then it becomes a whole lot of projection. It becomes a whole lot of projection of, like, I would be insecure if I were in your place, so why aren't you insecure? Like, it's just like, so the projection starts, and it's like, and that makes them mad as well, because they just expect you to think like them, and it's like, absolutely not. Hustle culture is one of the external validation traps. It sure is. And that goes into, y'all don't let me get on my history box. Because the Black Panthers, y'all, they were very anti-capitalism, very communist, pro-communist, pro-everyone working.
I need some Black joy. The fact that Black joy even exists as a concept in the world is miraculous to me. Asians are no good at joy. We are good at working hard and being diligent and doing our best, but not joy. Colonizers too. Rich lives, no joy. We should never have hooked our stars to theirs. But black people, especially black Americans, are the best at joy. You've turned it into an art form. I know it came from terrible hardship that you've turned into soul and then into joy. And we, Chinese people, we just turn that hardship into more hard work. But I know you can't give it to us. We have to go out and earn it for ourselves just like you did. Joy is a puzzle for every human being, and it's not free. When I ask my black friends where their joy comes from, they inevitably shake their heads and just repeat, you can't let them take it away from you. That's what it's not. But what is black joy? Can you tell me?
I think white people are so triggered by black joy because they have zero control over it. And white people are all about control. And anything they don't get to control and manage and dictate freaks them the hell out.
They don't get to be. Alright, racists, let's talk about your distaste for black joy. Racist America fumes at the sight of happiness, especially when that person smiling is black. It's as if this country specializes in anger Olympics. Being a little too happy disturbs the patriotism. 3 or more laughs in one place is like being investigated by a mall cop. I'm gonna need to see some ID. Because deep down, they believe that pain is the only state that black indigenous people are allowed to live in. Black people start laughing too loud at their cousin's cookout. They throw on some Frankie Beverly. They start dancing with their auntie in a sundress while the ribs are sizzling. Instantly, their lives are in danger. It's like watching a perfect example of a case study on people who have a problem with control. It's like their obsession isn't just with control, it's like with the optics of it as well. They want to be seen as dominant in the space, because they seem to disappear when there is black joy. When you throw your graduation cap in the air, surrounded by your entire family in matching t-shirts, they don't see achievement, they see defiance. Because in their minds, success was never black people's storyline. The truth is, black joy is a glitch in the racist lies that they feed themselves. They built a whole myth of superiority that only works if you're miserable, delusional, insecure, jealous, and mediocre. When black people shift the world with their joy and laughter, the racist's entire self-image starts to crack. This is why racists gatekeep golf courses, ban urban dress codes, side-eye loud laughter, and call the cops when the music's just a little too bassy. The unnecessary hate and determination to ruin black people's happiness is a disease, a brain-eating amoeba that siphons the cognition out of America's privileged society. And what hurts the most is that happiness and black joy is more infectious. Have the ability. Right, racists, let's talk.
Let's talk.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. A majority of white people wish that they were black. They wish that they had the ability to create or invent. They wish that they had the ability to wear a variety of hairstyles. They wish that they had the ability to dance. They wish that they had original fashion. They wish that their style was memorable. They wish that they were able to turn heads in public. They wish that they could spend more than 2 hours in the sun. They wish to be desired. They wish that they could smell as good as black people. They wish that they were as superior as black people. They wish that they were as athletic as black people. Even wish that they were indigenous and could be gifted an entire planet from the Most High. They wish that they could excel at music and the arts. They wish that they could be scholars like black people. They wish that they were as intelligent as black people. They wish that they could even cook like black people. They even wish that they could look as cool as black people do in their cars, which explains why they have the windows rolled down at all fucking times. And the real big one, they really wish that they could age as gracefully.
I love that he clocked his people's tea. I love to see white people that are actually honest. I really do. And I always tell y'all that love and hate lives on the same spectrum. They love you so much that they start to hate you. All that superiority, it's really inferiority in reverse. Why? If you are so tired of people, because now they're trying to co-opt and colonize black fatigue, right? If you're so tired of people, why are you always in our comment sections? Why are you always watching everything that we're doing? If I don't like somebody and I'm afraid for my life, I'm not going to walk up to them and try to engage with them in any type of way. I'm going to walk the other way. It's not fair. It's not fatigue. It's obsession. It's admiration. It's love. It's jealousy, envy. For those who actually operate that way. And then when you look in the comment sections, there was some white people saying this is true. This is facts. Facts on facts on facts. I mean, why do you think movies like Get Out was created? Get Out. Y'all remember Get Out? Ciao. Anyways, spread love is the Brooklyn way. What y'all think? Do y'all agree with what this Caucasian man had to say? The truth shall be revealed. Ooh, and this is why they're trying to destiny swap so bad. Because they literally want to be us. They want to be the ones that was oppressed. They want to be the ones that's experiencing racism. They want to be the ones that, is on the opposite side of history. But we know who they are. We know the truth. Anyways, bye.
We did it, y'all. We fucking did that shit. I think we fucking switching the timelines. Like, we're really doing that. Have y'all seen all the white creators talking about how, like, they miss us? Like, they miss everything about us. They'll move away because they think they, they need better status, or they have to seek out something on the outside of them. And then when they get there, they realize that it was never there in the beginning. It was always right here. I had even seen an Asian woman talk about Black joy. Like, they don't have joy. I'm sitting in the hood right now. I'm sitting next door to crackheads and I'm happy. I'm happy. Well, but you know what I mean, though? Like, we gotta make this shit shake. Of course we gotta be happy. There's no other way. Y'all took everything from us. But you can't take our happiness. You can't take our joy. I don't think white people experience nearly as much joy as Black people do. And I don't believe that the joy they experience is nearly as palpable, as beautiful, and as profound as Black joy. And I think that that is one of the main reasons why they can't stand our asses. It's because despite them setting up society to benefit them the most,
when you hear the name Donald Trump, you think of Black Joy Festival. Okay. Black Joy Festival. Okay. That's what this is. So when you hear...
They never expected Black folks to just sit down and relax. They never expected Black folks not to care whether Donald Trump became president or not. The fact that they, at this point, need a reaction from Black people, that you go to a Black Joy Festival just to try to bother people. The obsession that must take to want to have to go to a festival where Black people are happy, enjoying their life, and say, hey, let me try to disrupt that. When you're Black, you're never really lonely. But you see how comfortable she was to go into a festival full of Black folks minding their business and ask questions to try to enrage them? This would never happen at a white folks festival. This would never happen at a Caucasian Joy festival. For one, Black folks don't do that. But for two, they would flip their ish. But it's hilarious to see the desperation to be in Black spaces.
Black joy is seen as a threat by the system. When Black Americans are celebrated in other countries around the world, it disrupts the narratives built about Black Americans here in the U.S. And that is the reason that Black joy, movement, and visibility are policed differently depending on geography.
As a member of the pretty, bubbly Black girl delegation, it doesn't get better. People are going to constantly pick at you your entire life. People are going to constantly not like you for whatever reason that they've made up in their head. People are going to constantly try to break you down.
She may be onto something. Experts have found that when it comes to Black joy, people have a lot of resistance to this. Now, the term Black joy comes about because historically, Black people were oppressed. Those in power wanted to see them suffer. In fact, the suffering narrative was very prominent. So when Black joy broke free from this and you see Black people being creative in fashion and arts, just being happy, that can actually challenge the narrative of who is deserving of joy, who is deserving of being happy. Especially those who are bubbly and very expressive of their joy are sometimes labeled loud, are sometimes labeled ghetto, or not having class. And so expressions of joy, authentic expressions of joy, are often mislabeled or viewed negatively if they are coming from Black women. Bubbly Black women. Black joy is in many forms a way of saying, I'm not a victim, I am a survivor. And so expressions of joy like being bubbly, being authentically expressive, can be viewed as a threat by those who believe that, again, you're not entitled to that joy. So the bottom line is that people are going to criticize you whether you're happy or miserable. So you might as well be happy, might as well be joyful. What do you think? Have you experienced this?
Deontay Kyle made a good point regarding Black joy. Also made a statement prior to this. If white people cannot monitor or monetize Black joy, they no longer want it around. This is why they keep Black people in such proximity, because they find joy in watching us. They find joy in watching us dance. They find joy in watching us sing. They find joy in watching us play sports. They find joy in watching us simply mind our business. Biggest consumer of the Black art related to Black struggle is white people, literally. On paper. But the moment we draw the line and say, hey, I'm just going to spend this amongst our community, guess what? they burn the community down. Not just metaphorically speaking, but physically. They burn the community down. Because how dare you be happy without us? This is how somebody can be racist but loves everything related to black people. You have to understand that there is a mental disconnection when you start dehumanizing people. This doesn't mean that all white people don't feel joy. No, but a lot of white people, they experience joy in a way different way than we experience joy. Because they have spent so much time dehumanizing people. So you can no longer sit there and celebrate and just be happy to be amongst each other. You have to involve some kind of brutality with it because you guys have gained community off of brutality. Their community was built off of brutality. It wasn't built off of love and joy. Our community was built off of love, joy, and struggle. This is why within a struggle, we can still have love, joy, and celebration. You ever see a white person in a struggle? No celebration there.
Here's one of the displays that Target is using for Black History Month this year. It's a black girl with a hoodie on that says, "Black Joy is revolutionary." And this commenter says, well, where's the white joy shirts? White kids, how come you don't have anything for a white joy? Why black joy? Wouldn't have white joy? And I'm getting other comments asking the same exact thing and saying, well, if there were white joy shirts, that place would be burned to the ground. Just saying. And it's funny that you say that. Because in this country's history, white joy has been associated with burning things to the ground. Whether it's burning crosses for intimidation, burning black people who just want to swim, or just burning and blowing up entire city blocks. This was 1985, by the way. Asking why we can celebrate black joy and not white joy takes us back to the same conversation of what is culture and do white people have culture? And the answer is no. There is no such thing as white culture in this country. And if there is, I'd argue that white culture is nothing but oppression. So no, you shouldn't want to wear a hoodie that says white joy is revolutionary because I'll have you arrested for a hate crime.
If you ever want to know what the world would look like if black people were allowed to govern, police, educate, finance, build, restore, our own community, it is ours. No outside interference. We handle this. Look up Black Joy Parade 2026 Oakland. And the videos that I have seen don't even give it justice. You know why? Because most people there were having fun. Most people were there to have fun. There were little to no recordings because most people there were there to have fun. Black Joy Parade in Oakland. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I really do believe they should just give us Washington State. Just give us Washington State.
They hate black joy because they don't understand it. They hate black joy because they can't police it. European Americans very well know how they treat black people in this country, and they also know how other people target black people in this country. Black joy doesn't make sense to them because they are sitting around here miserable, and they don't understand how black people are still able to have a good old time. What bothered slave owners the most back in the day was not their brutality, their beating, their mutilating, their assaulting, no. What bothered slave owners the most back then was that how can these slaves still enjoy their day? That is what bothers slave owners the most. It is written down in their diaries. They could not comprehend, well, we're hurting these people. How are they able to still enjoy life? They try to study everything about us, but black joy, they cannot comprehend it because they don't have the capacity for it. Because they spend so much time dehumanizing other people, but the moment that you do that, you give up your own humanity. It's the devil's deal. They spend most of their childhood around racism, lowbrow comments, disrespectful jokes. Their fun is surrounded by racism. Their fun is surrounded by suffrage. Nor do they have a collective community outside of bigoted behavior. So black joy doesn't make sense to them because they believe that since they have more in this country, that they should be the ones that's happy. And anybody who has less should be the ones that's actually suffering.
It's prom season, which means one thing and one thing only, hood prom.
Why are you a white woman with no ties to the hood worried about hood prom? Like, do the math on that. Why are you a white woman with no ties to the hood worried about hood prom? The truth is, it's nothing to do with hood prom at all. It's the fact that black joy bothers the fuck out of white people. Black joy bothers you. That's the problem. Happy black children in the 12th grade triggers you because they're happy. And instead of you being happy for them, celebrating a moment in their life, you decide to police their happiness because they are enjoying it in a way that you don't understand. And the truth is, a lot of y'all wish y'all could celebrate in that way, but you can't. You don't know how to enjoy your life in that way. So it's easier to make up racist narratives about children in the 12th grade going to prom. And instead of being a monitoring spirit, how about you worry about getting married to your boyfriend? How about you worry about finding your father? How about you worry about getting your own house? How about you worry about those grown-up things?
Welcome to World Moving Trend, where we give you an idea of what is trending around the world, especially in the United States of America. Know that this video is for educational purposes. It's to enlighten you. It is not to create confusion in your mind, or in your heart, or in your environment. Rather, it is to enlighten you, educate you on how a group of persons or a particular ethnicity are living in the United States of America and around the world. So you've been watching videos of and the black communities in the United States of America complain, or better still react, to the fact that the white people are trying so hard to understand where their joy is from. They are trying so hard to understand, why are these people joyous? Why should you have reasons to be joyous? You see, the thing about joy is that the black man or the black race is synonymous to joy. In as much as in time past, pain and all manner of oppressive acts has been done to the colored man or to the black person. But these pains and oppression has not made them unjoyous or sad, or it has not made them look sad or look somehow. Rather, they are joyous. Like they are so happy, they are so full of light and joy, despite all that they are going through, despite all that they have gone through, and despite all that they will still go through. You can't take away their joy. And that's one of the things that, on the flip side, it bothers me. Because in Africa here, there are so many countries that I just wonder, especially in West Africa here, I just wonder, why are you guys happy? Like, you still see them throw parties and happy amidst of bad leadership and all that, bad environment and all that. They are still happy. And I'm wondering, like, why are we happy? What is funny about this? What's making us joyful? Until then I saw these videos, I'm like, oh, I see. It's the thing about Africans. It's the thing about black community. It's the thing about black people. They are joyous. See, the thing about it is that it's in their DNA to be joyful. Like, no matter what they are going through, no matter what trials they are going through, they are joyful. In other words, even if when they are going through hard times, you don't seem to even know, because they are joyful despite all. And that's what it is basically. And the white people can't seem to comprehend it, because that is not their lifestyle. Ours is in our DNA, is a lifestyle for us. And that is why you can see that in entertainment, we are there. In drama, theater, we are there. In sports, we are there. In music, as part of entertainment, we are there. Talk about it, black excellence. We are wonderful people. And they can't seem to understand it. And the truth of the matter is that they will never comprehend it, because it is an innate something. It's not something that you have to do A to get B, or you have to do C to get D. Now, it is more or less inbuilt from God, and that's what it is basically. And they are wondering, they are pondering, and they keep coming at that. Despite all that we've done to these colored people, they are still joyful. They are playing. Their music is wonderful. They're entertaining us. They are doing all sort of. They are giving us all sort of joy and happiness. and yes, they are living strong and all that. And that's what it is basically. So I want to say a big shout out to all the black community around the world, especially in the United States of America, that you guys are the real MVP. You guys are what we call undefeatable. You can that nobody can defeat you. You are wonderful. You are the real champions because despite of all that you've gone through, despite of all the things that the system has created against you, you still find a way to put a smile on your faces. You are not moved by it. Rather, it makes you stronger and better. And it's just so sad that the oppressor do not understand these things. It's very pathetic that the oppressors don't understand these things. That the more you trample on these guys, the more they become bigger and better. And that has been the norm of the black culture. That has been the norm of the black culture. The more you try to trample on them, the more you try to dismember them, the bigger and better they get. And that's what it is basically. I hope you guys learn that in as much as you're doing whatever, in as much as you're fighting against them with the system and all that, you're making them stronger and they're becoming even greater and joyous than you are. You just keep wallowing in your sadness and whatever it is. But I wish you all the best. Like I said, let love leads. Love conquers all, That's what it is basically. I would like to know your thought on this, guys. And what do you think about this? What do you think about the worry, like the chaos we create that the black community in the United States of America creates in the minds of the white people? Like why are they giving them so much reasons to talk about them? Like they say, if the white people aren't talking about the black people, they're not involved in anything black does, they're not happy. And it's like the black community is the whole essence of joy to the white person. So I don't know how it is. So your comment goes a long way. Please comment on this. I don't know what you think about this. Please, I would like to hear from you. What do you think about this issue? And note that credit belongs to all the content creators in this video. Without you, there won't be no video. Thank you so much for your input and all that, and your analysis mind. We appreciate you. Guys, kindly like, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 1,000 followers, subscribers. Please kindly do that for me. I love you guys. Thanks so much for the followership. Thanks for staying tuned. God bless you. I'll see you guys on my next video. Cheers.